So firstly, let me introduce Dato' Chan. So Dato' Chan is the founder and the current MD of Ajiya Group, which have businesses in the metal, architectural, roofing, as well as safety glass industries. And today, Ajiya has a network of 18 factories in Malaysia and Thailand. So our next CEO today is Skip. Skip is one of the co-founders of AmSolar, and he has been involved in the solar PV industries for more than 10 years since the early days of the solar industry. Yeah, and he started off building solar farms and has worked on many different solar PV projects of various sizes, big and small. So that's the introduction we have for our two CEOs today. So moving on, we will start the dialogue session with them. So the format will be in something along the lines where I will ask them some questions and look forward to them giving us some interesting and insightful answers. I mean, so first question to directed to Dato'. Dato', perhaps you can share with us about Ajiya's group's businesses and in terms of the architectural, roofing, and sheet glass for our audience.
Thanks, Michael. Good morning again to everybody, all the participants. I'm here just to share a little bit of knowledge of me about the what we call the potential and also the advantage of having a photovoltaic panel installed on the rooftop of the factory. First is Ajiya has been established since 1990. We are already in the 31 years. And after the first product range of being just component producer, we have grown and we have evolved, retrofit and also innovate ourselves to become today a total solution, housing solution provider. In the sense, we have an X series of housing component. There is a ranging from the roof to the truss, to the walling, to the ceiling, sunshades, louvers, door window frames, composite floor decking, and also enclose a building which is become a watertight with our range of safety glass product. And so today, we are, beside launching the X series of our product in our sales and marketing, we are also tying up with EPCC player like AmSolar, performing to become the EPCC provider for roof solar solution together with our roofing system. So we have today, beside operating in Malaysia, we have a plant in Thailand as well. So as at now, with the permission by the Suruhan Tenaga and also the limitation that the TNB allowed, on our 10 factories, we have put up, intended to have 5 megawatt peaks. But today, we have successfully already in the operation for more than a year, 3.3 megawatt peaks of the solar PV system on our rooftop. Yeah, so this is something that I'm sharing with you all, and pass back to Michael.
Wow, that's from the rooftop to the ground floor, everything, the whole house is covered.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So what kind of usage energy trend are you seeing in your factories over this last couple of years?
We envisage that we could utilize it fully, but due to the constraint that it has been already close to 18 months on and off, the factory just couldn't enjoy the full benefits of that. That's why we still have a little bit of baki. Hopefully, it won't get expired when we, hopefully in September we could resume. And today is my first day just back to my HQ in Segamat after close to about 3 years of not able to travel.
3 months. 3 months, you mean?
Yeah, 3 months already. Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. So next, I would like to hear from Skip. Skip, could you share with us about your involvement with the solar industry, the journey of AmSolar, as well as the years that you have spent in this industry? Maybe you can share with our audience a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. As Michael said, we have been in the industry for about 11, 12 years. We started as a contractor. We brought in Korean's EPC to work for SciPark. So we started our solar life in doing solar farms, 5 megawatt, mostly 5 megawatt, 1 megawatt. And that's where we did easily 20 over megawatt of solar installation all over the country, from Kuala Perlis all the way to Pajam. We went to Kelantan and the like. So as the solar is a regulated, government regulated industry, so there are ups and downs. So over time, we start to move away from farms, and we did a little bit of the solar residential before we see that the market moving to commercial. So we are probably 95-98% of our revenue come from commercial rooftop. So along the way, we were also the large-scale solar so-called component owners, and we did the LSS one in Johor, and after that we were involved in large-scale solar as a consultant. So we've been involved in LSS all this while. On the focus that we have been doing commercial, so we understand the commercial industry pretty well. We will elaborate more as we go down. Yeah, thanks.
As they always say, the journey of 1,000 steps begin with the first step. So we would like to hear, why did Ajiya embark on this solar energy journey? So what's the initiative? And
okay, our objective was then, since also partly just now you could learn a little bit from the video on our corporate, that this green has been our DNA, and we are also talking about sustainability, and also being a corporate player of already 26 years, we are also adhering to the ESG and the SDG initiative, which also align with the SDG number 7, 13, and the 17. SDG 7 basically talking about affordable clean energy. Number 13 is talking about climate change. Number 17 is a partnership for achieving your goals. So these are the thing that has put us into consideration. And besides, with the government net energy metering, coupled with the GITA, there is a green investment on the technology grant that make it with this kind of tax incentive, it make your investment actually a very viable investment. And for the group, after the slowing down of the whole construction industry after 2015, we were then thinking, what kind of investment shall we put in? Rather than on the machinery capacity, we find that, hey, why not we generate our own solar? That is then to invest onto the rooftop solar. And that investment has been a very wise move. Yeah. So that is the objective, and also the initiative that why we have taken up some steps. Okay, pass back to you.
so, Dato, you were mentioning about SDG. That is the UN Sustainability Development Goal, right?
Yes, right.
So in that journey of yours, right, what were the expectations and the measurements that Ajiya was using in this initiatives?
At the beginning stage, including myself, we are a little bit passive and skeptical about the durability of the photovoltaic panel that market claiming it is more than 21 years or up to 25 years. And being a industry manufacturer, we are also talking about there could be a wear and tear. But eventually, after garner sufficient information and also being convinced by a company Skip or TJ of AmSolar that actually this panel there is only what we call deterioration in the performance, but there isn't much wear and tear. So the guarantee of able to perform beyond 21 years, except the efficiency is beyond what we call the able to be queried. So that is a part that we are considered. And also after evaluating in the market among the players, then we have selected the one that is able to convince us with the then suitable market price. I think a year back in the 2018, 2019, then the price has been already become competitive. There is one thing. And the other one, it is we do a quick rule of thumb calculation. We reckon that within 4 to 5 years, we could recover our cost. So then we say, hey, why not, instead of a single digit business, why not I invest in the solar machine that could produce 20% return? So that is how we then venture into this.
Interesting. So
in fact, I want to say that the wear and tear, your solar panel will actually protect the roof of our customers so that the wear and tear on their roof is much less. So it is improve on the performance of the materials that are already there.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
So Dato', were there some besides what you mentioned about the skepticism and all that? What were there other challenges in making the decision to go solar?
Yeah, the other consideration is the condition of your rooftop. Is your profile, is your structure itself, but most of the structure itself could actually put in the additional what we call the load, what we call the imposed load by the PV panel installation system. Most of them should be able, but you have to check also your condition because the panel itself, once installed, could last 21 years and beyond. And how long your roof has been in there, and will it be corroded before your PV performance? So these are things that we have to consider. But due to also the oldest factory that we have, it is only just about 20 years old, and they are still in the serviceable condition. So without much that we got to spend on the retrofit the roof, and also due to the conservative in the engineering design at the day one, we managed and able to put all our rooftop without need to retrofit our structure. So there is also one area that we could, take it as a consideration why the investment it is a wise investment.
So
I think,
yeah.
Dato', there's something I want to add because working with you over this project has helped us a lot because solar players, most of us just know how to climb the roof, but we don't understand the how to make the roof improve on the roof condition and how not to make the roof condition any worse. So working with you and your people, we learn what to do, what not to do on our customers' roof. So I want to thank you for that opportunity, Dato'.
You're most welcome. And also a piece of advice to all the potential customer. It is always because we have been training them since we are the roof specialists to the EPCC player. They got to take the roof as part of their product as well. So a certain area like you must have the monkey ladder to access. You must have a landing platform, and you must also, when you work on the rooftop, all the safety practices has to be in place. And likewise, when you step on the rooftop, what are the area that you can step on? Which are the particular point that you can put temporarily in post load, so on and so forth, to continue the good performance of the roof by not damaging the roof after the PV being installed. So selection of the competent EPCC player is of paramount importance as well. Yeah.
I think that's something I highlight to my boys too. You don't finish a job and then you walk out and the people's roof leak all over. So yeah.
Thank you, Dato, for the wise words. So now I would like to direct some questions to Skip. So in the brief from Ajiya for the solar PV system requirement, right? What were some of the criteria and considerations in the evaluation and the bidding process?
The first thing, of course, we look at the electricity bill, but besides electricity bill, it's important that the solar people important for us to understand the process and how our customer use electricity. So with that in mind, of course, for Ajiya's project, they have factories all over Malaysia, and we have the opportunity to travel around the country looking at each site and do site evaluation. So that's where we start, and of course after that we have do some energy monitoring and do our own homework to size and to ascertain what is the best system we have to configure for our customer. Yeah, that's right. You're mute, Michael.
I'm sure Dato Chan will definitely be asking about the cost savings portion and so on, right? So what were some of those dynamics involved in terms of the cost savings, and how did Skip manage to convince and also deliver those for you?
Okay, thanks, Mike. I think the first, the owner's fear is always, hey, who am I dealing with? And what kind of after-sales service that we are going to have? Because to most factory owner, they are very new to this PV panel, and they do not know the system well. So you are talking about 21 years, just like you put up a new house. We have to consider the durability and also the maintenance and also warranty. So this is and also the after-sales service. So these are all the initial hindrance because of the fear that the factory owner could generate. But for us, that was already water past the bridge, and today we are very enjoying. And just to share, if your factory is a small power consumption, like for example, you only have 500 amp or 300 amp, and when you put this up, your electricity tariff, it is a little bit higher. I think it's on the B2, right? Maybe. Then your return, it is a little bit lucrative. You could be, my rule of thumb, it is you may be generating about 60 to 70 ringgit per kilowatt peak that you install. Right? That's why it is 72, for example, saving, and that will make your ROI just about 3 to 4 years. If you add on the double taxation incentive that you got, okay? But if your tariff, you got the substation, your power, it is on the E2, tariff, but your unit it is a bit lower, that will make your investment have to take a little bit longer. But if you were to manage your maximum demand, because the moment you are in the E2 rate, right, you have a maximum demand, which sometimes could be so costly. So with the photovoltaic panel installed, it somehow or another, during the peak period, it could come in as a standby, like a capacitor, you know, in that sense, I'm a layman, that actually to reduce your maximum demand. And that indirectly will also benefits. So if you were to able to, what we call predictive, predict when your maximum demand will be, so you set your operation in such a way when the solar is at its peak, so then you can actually reduce your maximum demand peak. So these are things that we have gone through because we have 10 factories that is now every month we are see how much it is making profit, you know. So these are something I'm sharing with you, being a user that is already close to using such system. Yeah.
Yeah, Dato, you are expert already. Actually, you're taking a lot of words from our mouth. For those who may have joined us earlier, I think we have some guests who have joined us in our earlier webinar. We talked about a tariff and we talked about some of these concepts. And so, yeah, Dato, thank you very much for addressing this issue. Yeah.
So
you're welcome.
So Skip, in the installation of the solar PV system for Ajiya Group, I understand that there were about 10 factories that AmSolar installed. So in the 10 factories, right, what were some of the challenges faced in the project and how did the AmSolar team overcome them?
I was thinking about this. Actually, we are an owner-run company, meaning my partner and I are hands-on and we lead our team to run this project. And besides that, we normally run 2 or 3 projects together. We match the big one and the small one, and we completed this whole project slightly over 1 year, I believe. That I'm not sure. We still have some of the finishing thing dragged a little longer, but it took about close to 1 year to finish this project. So it is challenging in the sense that you have to coordinate multi-teams in different places. Normally we run geographically. That means if you do the north in Kedah, we have your sites in Sungai Petani, and then of course you have Bukit Minyak. So we will do the projects in the northern area with our teams helping each other up there. And of course I have my engineers stationed in that area too. So it's a challenge, but our site engineers are not competent enough to run it concurrently. Yes.
So how was it like to do 10 factories in such a short time?
No, we say Chinese say totally mati sao. So okay, no, not a big issue. In fact, we are fortunate that this lockup we have probably 6 or 7 installation industrial to run right after this COVID so-called what is over. So it will be very similar. We have to run 2, 3 sites at one time. Yeah. So
I think moving on, I will direct some questions in terms of what are the outcomes and what are some of the achievements through implementing this project. So for Dato', so what are some of the gains and pains, hopefully not so much pain, but the more gains when you were implementing this for your group of factories and offices?
Yeah, thanks, Michael. I think we find that it is a worthwhile investing. Like earlier when I mentioned that with the ROI of 20 to 25%, which is lucrative in that sense, and it is a forever, it is generating. and you need not have to have much human resources to bother. No need to incur any untoward additional cost. Besides just to ensure that it is properly clean, maintained, and also care are being taken to ensure there is no untoward happening on the rooftop, which for insurance you can also cover with the insurance. Yeah. So there is one, and the other one, it is also then during this pandemic, then there is a lot of visitation that required, after sales required. So these are some of the a little bit of small pain that we have to go through with the EPCC supplier.
Yeah.
That you have to ensure all your workers are being tested, all your workers are in the list, and they have the proper traveling documents before they can come into our premise. And also because of the quota of the number of visitations. So all this, it is the additional administrative job. So this is a little bit of small pain, but nevertheless, this is a new norm. So I think if you're talking about the happy side and also the painful side, so this is part of it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So Skip, in what Dato has elaborated in some of the outcomes and they have achieved. So what are some of the control points that you and your team put in place to ensure the 10 factories perform to expectations?
I think very important is how we started. The important is construct for long term. We mean construct mean when we install our system, we look at the long term O&M thing like we said earlier. The necessary infrastructure need to be put in place for our maintenance, and of course, next to that is our monitoring system. We have also developed our own monitoring system. Dato, I have not actually come to you all yet, but our new monitoring system, we can monitor both our solar generation as well as the consumption. So it will allow us meaning both our customer and ourselves to understand how we consume electricity, and like you mentioned just now, how to manage your maximum demand. So we will be able to do that together. We can work on those ways that we can continue to save electricity in the longer run. So besides solar is then we go into concept of course energy efficiencies. The other thing which I catch from what Dato was saying just now, we have customer. We have one customer who signed up with us. We just finished a project around Chinese New Year. They signed with us, negotiated with us for a 10-year O&M contract. So for those who are a little bit skeptical in terms of the maintenance of the system, it's something we can look at, we can work on. So we will go in and not just monitor, but we check the systems, the system meaning your inverter, your electrical system, and as well as do cleaning when necessary. So this is some of the areas that we are looking at for our company a long term in terms of energy monitoring and O&M services. Yeah, and of course, this is something which we will also continue to support our customers. We have, besides Ajiya, we have a few more sizable projects which we continue to manage and maintain for our customers. Yeah.
Okay, so switching gear a little bit, I think the past 18 months, I think the word unprecedented have been overused, and I think there are a lot of challenges. So Dato, what are some of the initiatives that Ajiya Group have taken to address energy costs, energy usage during these challenging times?
Thanks, Michael, and also Skip for sharing a little bit on your latest development. Congrats, Skip and AmSolar for having developed your this energy consumption monitoring system, which is now up and running in good condition. And also happy to understand that you are also looking into sustainability of your business by providing extended O&M service, which is very much, I would say, it will be a value add to your future customer beside the existing customers. Actually, we look whether they could then continue to engage you after the warranty period has been over, to continue to provide such O&M service. It's a good effort, Skip. Yeah. And on the Ajiya side, besides that, we are able to deduce our maximum demand regime. We also find that we need not have to pay much penalty, and also during the COVID pandemic season, that we also switch our maximum demand kind of a program to manage it, and we are able to put it to a very, very minimum. Despite that, the operation, it is not as full as the pre-COVID era. So this is something that we found that it is flexible, and it is only one setback that I also have to share with all. That is to the baki that sometimes may be waived by the TMB, which I urge the EPCC organization should write to the TMB and also authorities to mention that they must be also treat this COVID as a situation that the baki should be also extended, should have the moratorium, just like any other practices, just like JKR, when your project delay, they do allow. But we do encounter such. So we would like the organization to actually work that out with the authority, and if possible, retrospective, what we call backdate to the during the COVID period. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. I take note of this, and I will forward to our association. Thanks. Okay, mute, Michael.
Yeah. So Dato, thanks for the feedback. So in terms of the times that we are in, right? So have the energy consciousness also set in for the operation and also the management staff as well, in terms of how they should be using energy efficiently?
Certainly, Michael. Besides now looking into how much we are generating from the profit of the energy generation, we are also actually creating awareness. And because also now this IoT-able kind of data assessing, so they could actually remotely monitor how is the performance, and they are more than eager to see, oh, is there any defect or which panel, which zone is not operating. So all these are able to be remotely close monitor 24 hours a day. So that indirectly has very much create awareness, not just among the technical people, also with the management people, and also with the accounting team, where there is responsible for the P&L at the end of the day. Yeah.
Wow, that's good to hear.
I want to add actually, because you mentioned accounting team and P&L. From our experience, working with owners, one of the issue is apportioning cost to different division or different functional group. So with the monitoring system, you can likewise apportion your energy cost to the different division, and from there people are more aware, rather than everybody take from the honeypot. Now everybody have to take from the own pocket. So it will improve in terms of the way operation will be run with energy monitoring backbone over your operation.
Dato, I believe that as a public listed company, probably questions about your profits and your financing and your cash flow may be a bit sensitive. But maybe can you share with us or share with the audience today when they are looking at this kind of investments, what are some of the key areas that they should be considering when it comes to financing, cash flow, using the tax allowances like green investment tax allowance and capital allowance? Maybe some tips and some ideas from your side.
Okay, it is a question that has a quite broad base. I think we come back to the guideline itself. Those are the same to every individual company, that the GITA, that the NEM, and I also talk about the reinvestment allowance or capital allowance. These are all quite similar to all companies, but on the financial perspective, each company they have a different background. But for us, fortunately, in the about 2018, 2017, we then decided not to put in capex into machineries, but we put divest them into the panel itself. So on our side, and also with the current low interest regime, if an organization that need to get the financing, I believe there is a wide array of packages provided by the bankers, and sometimes EPCC player like AmSolar, you also have the panel banker or financial institutions. They are working very closely with you, and normally, I believe in your presentation or quotation to your client, that can also be come in as a package, right?
Very true, Dato. Actually, it's something which we talk about, but we have, I think, a chance to elaborate. One of our strength of our company is our finance literacy. I want to use the word because one of the senior member of our management team come from the listed company in solar industry. So she have a good network with bankers as well as insurance people, and we can assist in terms of such requirement if needed. Of course, we also work with listing companies, people like Packlist. Another option that we have is I was talking to my team this morning. We have quite a number of investors approaching us to look at our potential customers. Whether some of our potential customer who might not want to incur capex. Of course, you have to share some of the savings with this investor. There are quite a number who are looking forward to invest into your solar PV system. This is for the zero capex deal, which you see quite often being promoted by solar players. So yeah, we really have such opportunities. Yes. And the one point I want to highlight is that because the payback of solar PV is so short, if you manage your financing well, you actually will have a positive cash flow on your operation. Okay, your payback, of course, Dato talk about 3-4 years. If you're under a certain tariff, you actually are shorter than that. Besides that, yeah, the tariff is a big thing. We in our company, in our various webinar, we talk about it, and you hit in the right place, you will enjoy more savings. So yeah.
I think this next question is probably a view from both sides, because I think a lot of people have this perception of the need for a lot of application, a lot of dealing with different government regulatory bodies and all that. So how was the experience when it comes to the application process? Maybe Dato, you can start off first from your side. How was it like in terms of your experience with the application process for all the various licenses, the quotas, as well as the green investment tax allowance?
Yeah, I think that is of one of the earlier fear the factory owner may come across. So that's why earlier I have mentioned also you must identify a competent, wholesome, holistic approach EPCC player, where at this stage, for example, our dealing with AmSolar, they do provide the what we call the one-stop center, and then there is something that could ease much hassle being a factory owner, and you got no such much experience how to deal with all these organizations. So under the guidance and also the advice with the EPCC player, so people like us, right? Then we could then provide relevant information so that the guidelines are able to be complied. Yeah, and the benefits could then also be sort of eventually promptly submitted and then qualified for all those necessary incentives that we are having.
I want to add that the government liaison is a big part of our organization. Beside our finance, we have another senior person who handle Surhan Jaya Tenaga and TNB. When we do the incentive application, it's not just MIDA. We finish a MIDA, we take you all the way to MGTC. That means even when you finish your whole application, your whole installation process, the submission for your claiming of taxes, we assist you in that. We give you whatever necessary consultation you need. And also for certain system, certain size, we need to do a regular reporting to ST, and of course my team also assist in this until you know, the time will come then we will slowly hand over to our customer. So it is not just an engineering job or not just an installation job. The whole solar implementation process, it's a business process that very beginning we look at the money, and later we do the installation, and eventually we still look at the money and make sure that what we promised our customer we can help to fulfill. Yeah.
So moving on, this question for Skip. What would you like to share with the manufacturers who are probably considering and thinking of and interested to embark on this solar energy journey?
Well, something I hope Dato and me, the operational cost to your bottom line, and the savings is significant, especially if you are running operations that need a lot of electricity. Dato Chan's operation, you have glass, you have smelting glass, you have things like tempering of glass. They need a lot of energy. Those other process that plastic injection molding and those and the like, where electricity costs can be as high as 10% of your operation or more. When you save 20 or 30% of your electricity costs using solar, it just means that, you know, you will add to your bottom line 2-3%. Okay, that is significant. If you look at the case that if you hire a few salespeople to perform and to get you another 2-3% on your bottom line, we are not sure whether the confidence level to achieve such things. But with solar, because the sun comes up every day, and every day you use electricity, it's almost a guarantee investment, guarantee return on your investment. So I think that is the most important point I would like to share with those who are interested in the investment or looking at solar. Yeah.
And the question of timing always arises, right? Some people always say, shall they wait a little bit longer? What do you say? I'm sure we hear Dato already running two years plus, but there are probably some also probably having this mindset that shall they wait some more? What is the question on timing of the investment. When is a good time, or is there such a thing?
The
as
good time is now, as you know, or yeah, and every one of us in the business, you know, cost of things have come up. We are always, the solar industry have never so-called look at it before and say that solar photovoltaic price will come up, and it did. You know, in the last year, the cost of materials went up by 20 to 30%, of course, including our copper, our aluminum, and all that. So it goes up, it goes down. Really cannot predict how well. But even with that, you know, your once you start your saving process, your process where you your investment process, you are certain of you are certain of the returns. So the time to do is immediately, yeah. And especially right now with more and more incentives by the government, it's the right thing to do. Yeah.
I think the NEM 3.0 is kind of controversy in the sense that what was released for commercial industrial in April, and the quota was finished in only a few months, although it was meant for a few years. I think there are a lot of people having this question. I think in the Q&A section, I think someone also asked this question, that the quota for this commercial and industrial is finished. So how should manufacturer move forward with solar?
You know, Malaysia are so used to the mentality of subsidy and so-called the crutches and all that. Solar is a technology, and you know, I believe that we are coming to the point or towards time when we do not need to have that to survive. Of course, those who have missed the opportunity, you missed NEM 2.0 and go to 3.0, and essentially actually 3.0 and self-consumption have very little difference. Okay, you are all generating for your own use. And of course, when in both cases, 3.0 and Celco, the amount you can scrape, I use the word scrape back from the bottom of the pot is very little. You know, if you get to sell back to TNB, they sell you at probably 20-30% of your tariff cost. So we should all, as far as concerned, the whole industry is moving forward, and I think the industry is adapting to the so-called Celco very well. I want to highlight that besides the Celco thing, of course, it makes the energy monitoring, energy profiling, and system sizing a lot more important. You know, in the past we just say, oh, you just build a system and you get your return. And now we are actually talking to our customer and say, hey, you know, what are you looking at? You know, you want a 3-year return, you want a 4-year return. It is possible to craft it according to your requirement, because if you want what's the absolute number of savings you want? You know, you can have a longer payback, but you can have more savings. I hope that means something. You know, you can have your absolute number bigger, but of course your return on the time for return on investment will be slightly longer. So the other example I've been talking about to customer these days is that, you know, you make a piece of clothing, you buy a piece of cloth, you have to trim some away, and you get what you need. So you buy a PV system, you use as much as possible. There will be some that need to be trimmed off, but important thing is that you get a good product that carry you through for a long term. You know, don't buy a big piece of cloth and then make a bikini. That's not the right thing to do. So yeah, I think the other part which I want to highlight is that AmSolar, and we talk about this. We talked about this in our earlier webinar too. Importance of tariff. You know, how important. We look at tariff. If needed, we help you to change the tariff and for you to do this accordingly in terms of maximize your return on your investment. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Skip. The next thing I want to talk about is quite a important topic in the corporate circles today. Question about ESG, question about being green. And I believe that Dr. Chan, in your video, you mentioned that Ajiya has this green integrated building system. So there's a lot of green initiative that Ajiya is doing, and this all contributes to ESG. So how important is ESG ratings for Ajiya, and what are some of the other initiatives on top of solar that also help in this area?
Thanks, Mike. I think to add on to just now the Skip for the benefits of the audience as well, I think the tariff rate of electricity, looking at it, maybe are now still from the fossil oil or the fossil source. So the tariff will be on the escalating. So when you invest on the PV panel itself, you are just like investing on wine, you know. The older they are, the higher the price will be higher. So imagine, you know, so the rate will be going up. So now your computation is based on the current rate. Likewise on your cost. So you can imagine there will be an appreciation at the as time goes on. Okay, coming back to here, being a public listed co for already 20 over years, and the green sustainability, you know, and also the governance come in to the being the elements of a day-to-day that we are working on. So we are expanding our SDG goal, the 17 goals. I think we are now easily score about more than 10 of them. Like just now you have mentioned, we have our own total housing solutions, where here we will be also talking about the low carbon footprint when you talk to the supply chain, you know, rather than you're buying components from 8 factories, you know, so you're buying from one source, one-stop center. So that could also reduce your carbon footprint because of the one-stop center solution. Likewise, instead of singularly, you got to work with the roof supplier and also the EPCC separately. We are now also bringing the EPCC player at one stop to you as our 9th component. So when you design your roof or your existing roof, your assessment could be all in one single effort. One stone, you kill 2 birds. So you could get the advice on the roof, your existing condition, what you need to do on your retrofitting, and also the durability of your roof. So plus, you are also addressing your roof solar needs. So these are things that we are looking at. They fall into the SDG number, what we call the 17. There is a partnership. Yeah. So all these are a goal that the Ajiya team has been continue in search in what area that we are able in doing our business. Besides looking into sustainability, green, what else, you know? Just like we also look into the circular economy, how to avoid hunger, this and that. So as into, you know, providing a free hot meal during this pandemic time. So these are things that is added on into the corporate social responsibility, and also our SDG goal, which is actually governed under the ESG. Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Dato. So, in summary, well, I would let the 2 CEOs probably summarize their experiences and any more advice to our audience today. Maybe we can start with Dato.
Just like urging by Skip just now, it will be too late for you to install it tomorrow. The best is yesterday. So please, every day is a good day. Like what I say, you know, imagine, you know, all your costs you are basing on current, and your tariff is basing on current computation. So if tomorrow there is a tariff going up, so you could shorten, and also you could actually make your investment a more viable investment as compared currently, you know. So this is something that I urge. And the other one, it is also when you are putting more sustainable energy on your rooftop, you are also playing the role of saving carbon footprint and providing the earth or our mother nature to be a greener, sustainable nature. So this is another area that you could achieve. Besides emotionally, psychologically, you feel good because you are feeling that you are doing something green and you are contributing back to the mother nature and also the whole economy circle itself. Yeah.
Thank you, Dato'. Skip, what about you?
No, I think let Dato' have a last word. I think he did it very, very well. So I have nothing to add. I have nothing to add. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dato'. Thank you for speaking here. You know, you share so much with us. I think not just the audience, but we learn a lot from what you share too. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everybody. Thanks Sammy for FMM, and also Suriza of the AmSolar. You are at the back of it. Without you, we can't get this also to share with the audience. And thanks everybody. Take good care and continue to be vigilant during this challenging COVID, especially with the new variant that is coming up. Yeah. So everybody take good care and have a good health.
Thank you. Dato', before we go,
thank you.
We might want to take some questions. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. You hear from two CEOs from two different perspectives about their journey with solar, and also the benefits that can be gained. Of course, beside the financial numbers, there's also the additional benefits of the sustainability, circular economy, economic circle, which Dato' has aptly put. So we would like to see if we can take some questions from the audience, because we see there are some questions in the audience. Hopefully some of the questions have already been answered by Dato'. So let's try and see if we can take some questions. Yeah, I think there's one question relating to government incentive to promote, and what are the process to apply, and is it difficult to get? I think this was also answered just now. Yeah, with by Skip, that with the good cooperation from both the client side and also the team.
No, I want to add in the sense that the certainty of getting your incentives. Okay, of course we talk about our process, but so far as we know, unless there are specific reasons for you not getting it because you have either enjoyed some other form of competing incentives, or you are owned by another company which already enjoyed that incentives, then you have an issue. Else, as a business owner, if you apply for it, the certainty of getting incentives is almost 100%. Unless there's, as I said, unless there's reason for you for that not to happen. Normally, the process is that we get your information, and the MIDA officer will then pick up the bones and say, and do a number of come back with questions in terms of our company background or issues that they might have. So I want to say that the certainty is very, very high to get the incentive. We hardly have any reject, not that I remember what we have done for our customers.
Thank you, Skip. There's another question here that I would think this is meant for Dato'. Dato', since you have so many solar PV system and positive on investment, does Ajiya intend to enter the solar business like so many public listed companies recently? I'm not sure if you're at liberty to answer this question.
Yes, thanks for reminding us on that. Yeah, we have tendered for LSS4, and our price is very close to the highest bid, but we did not get it. Yeah, we actually tried because with the 3.3 megawatts fixed experience that we have had, the Suruhan Negara do allow us to participate, and together, and also we take this as one of the branching out our business. Yeah, we are in search for that. But also another point that I would like to share with everybody before you could put the solar panel on your rooftop. There is also depending on your competent personnel, registered competent personnel in your premise. You must also take note. Under Suruhan Tenaga regime, there is a requirement that you must have a certain qualified technical personnel in your own premise. So this is one of the prerequisites as well. Yeah.
I think again I want to add on to this because they are in Malaysia, there are rules that are set but it's not enforced. So the requirement for a qualified person for your premise is the written thing. But however, because of whatever reason, it is not enforced. And when we add solar onto your roof because of the licensing requirement, then this thing will surface again. So it is what I want to re-emphasize is this is not to TNB or to Suruhanjaya Tenaga Energy Commission. This is not a new thing, but it become a thing that they would want to enforce when you add solar on the roof.
Wow, this person also questioned something that was announced yesterday in the news. I think this probably is also along the lines that question meant for Dato'. So there was an announcement about solar ready houses project in the 1,000, like in a big scale, 1,000 houses or something. Again, the question here is, does Ajiya intend to offer a similar solar ready roof to customers, like bundling roof installation with solar PV?
Thanks for a reminder again. In fact, it's just now we are talking about the number 9 series. Yes. We are at this stage working with the EPCC associates to provide such as a total solution provider. And if situation arise, and if the conditions permit, we may then sort of also could have a EPCC player under our umbrella. Yes.
Thank you, Dato'. There's one question, I think the following on what Skip mentioned about the incentive. Is the incentive only applicable for SME? I think it is more than that. Probably Skip, you can elaborate.
Is a holder with a TNB. You have a roof, you are qualified. So our customer, we have customer, of course, like Ajiya, Dato' Chan, who are listed companies. We go all the way. For a smaller system, recently we have a few. We are going to build a few jobs for cake confectionery, mooncake manufacturers. All these are local SMEs. They enjoy it too. So it doesn't matter how big or small your business is, you still will enjoy the incentive. Of course, as I said earlier, now the guitar, there's a certain regulation that if you have already enjoyed some incentive, then they will not allow you to take this as another incentive.
Okay, thank you. This question is directed to AmSolar. The question from Mr. Fu, I believe, is what is the standard solar panel size and how much kilowatt peak per panel? So let's say there's for 350 watt peak per panel, what is the total amount of electricity in kilowatt hour per month will be generated? A little bit technical, but probably I think this meant for Skip. You can expand on it and then share with the audience.
It is no more the matter of 350 watt per panel, Trevor, because the technology is moving very, very fast. Okay, the panels that I am going to install, in fact, have in my stock is 440, and the panel size is roughly 1 meter by 2 meter. However, the industry is going into a large panel size format, which is at the region of 550. There's some even claim that 600 is coming out, and of course they are large panel format, which is about 1.1, 1.2 meter multiplied by 2.4 meters for the light. So what they are driving at is a bigger panel size, and therefore your installation cost will come down. So you can look forward to eventually lower EPC price because of bigger panels price. So as far as generation, tell customers, especially for residential, these are very rough number. We basically said one kilowatt peak, you can generate about 100 kilowatt hour of electricity a month. Okay, and that is a very rough number because a lot of factors come in to determine how much you generate. It depends on where you are in Malaysia, how you install the panel, how you pitch the panel. We boast of one of our installation in Setia Alam, where our panel is pitched facing east for some certain reason, I think 10 to 15 degrees facing east. So all these become part of the whole formula to look at how much you generate. And the theory behind all this is basically the world have collected so much information in weather and the like. We have software that help us to predict your generation, and the banks actually use these numbers to lend money to you. So just now, Dr. Chan talked about LSS, large scale solar program, and they are all funded by financial institutions looking at such modeling from by software that we use. So solar, I want to say, is an art and a science. Okay, certain part of it, like in this case, is a science, very much a science, because there's a model, there's simulation, tie all to our financial model, and the banks verify when the bank is willing to buy your model, it is financially viable. Yeah, the art part of it is, of course, we say that we cannot control the weather, we cannot control when the sun will rise, we cannot control when the wind or the storm will set in. So those are that is the part that you have to live with it. And another important, very important thing that I always tell my technical staff, is it is statistics. It is a lot of it is statistics. What is the chances of this happen, and where is the normal curve? And we talk about consumption also is same. Is a consumption curve. Your statistics, when will happen when is all matter of probability. So when you look for your solar installer, it's important that you do not have just somebody who throw you a price and tell you, okay, this is the price and I'll fix it up for you. Thank you, goodbye. So that's what I want to highlight. Yeah.
Thank you, Skip. There is this question that's coming from someone about where the plant is situated, because I think so. The person is asking, my next door is a urea plant, probably fertilizer, I believe, urea. Is it advisable for us to install solar system? Maybe Skip, you can take this.
I need to do some homework, honestly. Okay, the solar PV materials are all made of aluminum and stainless steel. Okay, at one point we made a presentation to this listed company. We know the MD very well, and after he listened to our presentation, he said, "Okay, Skip, the job is yours. Come, go over to the factory and talk to my people. You know, we go over, do anything, because they are I want to use the word pesticide manufacturer. Okay, they use a lot of chemicals and a lot of chemical fume, and that chemical attacks aluminum as well as I think principally aluminum, and so you know, we cannot proceed with that. You know, the numbers all fell in very well, but fiscally it's not good. Urea, I need to do. We need to maybe understand a little in terms of the chemical process, and of course, there may be such option if you use stainless steel and a glass panel. Again, this type of thing we need to do some homework. But if, for example, if your roof metal roof and the light, then if you can still use our traditional metal roof on your building, I would also say that no, why not? Maybe we have to move the panel a little bit further. Some precaution. Yeah.
Well, that's all it is. So I think it's a little bit too difficult to just respond a yes, no. I think, as Skip mentioned, there's going to be some homework. So there's a couple more questions. I think we will take 2 more questions, and then we will probably call it a day then. So this question is regarding to probably some of it was addressed in the discussion just now. The lifespan. What is the lifespan of the solar PV system, and what maintenance need to be done, and the costs involved?
The warranty, like what Dato said just now, warranty of panel, the yield warranty is 25 years, and now you can see people are talking about longer than 25 years. Okay, some manufacturers talk about 30 years, or some kind of construction of the panel, they will give 30 years. Of course, when you buy a panel with a longer life, it also means that the panel is maybe slightly more expensive. So that's the life of the panel. In fact, I always tell my audience, if you Google and you type the longest surviving solar panel, solar PV system, there are quite a number of entries. You know, they're talking about one in Germany recently become a study case where it is, if I remember right, around 30-40 years, you know, and we're talking about technologies that are 30-40 years ago, and it lasted till now. So what about now technology of today? How long will it last? I would say that the life would be, you know, we have no problem with this 30-40 years of lifetime. And as I said, there are quite a number of entries. There are quite a lot of studies on the life of the solar PV system. As far as maintenance is concerned, of course, we look at it's an electrical system. It is the same like maintenance as you would need for your electrical system. The weak link is the inverter, because it is the one to do most of the work. And if you have a good inverter supplier, like for example, we are partners with a Goodwe. They are a listed company, and their products are one of the best in the industry. You will last you a long time. You won't have that much a problem with Goodwe inverters. In terms of maintenance, the other we mentioned depends on where you are. We recently built an installation in Ipoh where, in fact, we are going to build another installation in Ipoh where they are mining calcium, and in cleaning of the panel will become a consistent issue because of the environment. I also want to say that with the current day automation, we are also a member of a team that are looking at building a solar cleaning robot. We work with Monash University. You won't be long before you can fly your drone there and then you do the cleaning for you. So I hope I answered the question. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So I think we have time for one last question. And this last question is, well, it's a bit long. I think I will just summarize it to say that I think the person is asking, there are many different service providers out there, similar technologies, and how do you sift through the all that clutter, and what are the unique criteria that the end user can use in order to make the best decision in choosing which provider or investor to work with?
Yeah, the company must start with the company name must start with A. Second word is M. Seriously, we share a lot today. We want to highlight to you our difference compared to other solar installer. To get a solar installer, solar is becoming very competitive and very much like a commodity. However, it's important that after the installation, all your support is there. No, in fact, I have a customer just approached me yesterday. They bought a system from China. Of course, it's a small system, and they want somebody to build for them. Ended up a lot of things. You can buy it, you can get it so much cheaper, but the whole system we have problem going to install in Malaysia. So likewise, to get the system up in your roof, a lot of players right now, a lot of players meaning there are also a lot of guys who just put some panels together and get it up for you. But the issue of course, just now we talk about all the application process, make sure you get what you want. If you are in certain tariff type, we will help you more in terms of course, we talk about maximum demand. We also actually, Dato is very kind. He didn't bring up the issue of power factor. Recently, we have a few power factor issue. We need to have enough experience how to handle power factor, because solar inject power at unity, and if your consumption suddenly drops, the other part of the power of the come up, and then you will face a power factor related issue. So we are saying that when you engage a solar player, it's good that they have a full set of skills to support you. Don't look at the bottom line dollar alone, because you might end up having a system where you have to manage eventually. In the industry, in our solar industry, since the day one, we have seen many that comes up and go down. In fact, the solar industry, you can say we are going through another wave of shake out, because the NEM 3.0 have finished, and a lot of big boys are coming into the industry. I didn't mention, but one of the players I talked to is people like Malakoff, like and all the big companies that come in. So if you do not choose a company who is going to be there, you will end up to have to manage your system, which is supposed to last you 20, 30 years. You make sure that you continue to generate the power it promised you. If the guy built it for you, and then he collected the money and he disappeared, then you need to worry about how your system is going to continue to generate the money for you. I am not sure if I answer to your request, but as I said, the company must be well-rounded. It should not be a company run by engineers alone. I think that's another thought I have in my mind. Not run by engineers alone, or run by finance people alone. We actually have some solar players, because they see the money and they're all finance people. So you have companies that run by financial people alone, and they don't have that certain skills in the whole company. The other thing I want to add is that our company have our own installer. So of course we still use a certain amount of subcontractors, but our team install and manage the installation hands-on ourselves. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity for me to tell you more about the good things of AmSolar.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. More than concluding remarks, a lot of nuggets of insights, experience, and real-world knowledge that's being shared with us today. So on behalf of Ajiya Group and AmSolar, we'd like to thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you have enjoyed today's webinar and able to take home a lot of meaningful insights to help you in your energy savings journey and also making more profits for your company. We certainly look forward to sharing more interesting topics and more interesting conversations in the future with you. So everyone out there, have a great day. Take care, stay healthy, stay safe. Back to FMM, Sammy.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. Please do check our FMM website for any upcoming event in your interest. If you have any inquiries, please contact FMM. Before we end our webinar, we would appreciate if you could take 1 minute to fill up the survey that we will send later. Thank you everyone. Stay safe and hope to see you all again.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you everybody. Thank you, Dato'.
Thank you,
Thank you very
bye.
much.
Thank you, Dato'.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you everybody. Thank you, Sammy.
Thank you, Stu.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Dato'.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.